Hello everybody and welcome to Eddzshed. Today I'm going to be going over flipping. I have already done a video on this, but this video is going to be about the more advanced ideas behind it, so you'll be able to come up with your own strategies towards it and also hopefully make more money using it. So this is going to be a significantly longer video than I'd usually do a how-to, but it will have a lot more detail to it, and I'll get into the very nitty-gritty bits of it. In this particular video, we're going to be looking at sort of 4 different things. We're going to be looking at first the actual setup behind what you're looking for in items in order to trade them in Guild Wars. We're then going to be looking at your actual entry, exit and execution of it, so the actual way that you go about purchasing them and the way you go about selling them. And then we're also going to be looking at the 2 main applications of this, which is scalping, which is sort of a very quick flipping, that's what most people think of when they're thinking of this, which is getting in and out, buying something, selling it, buying something, selling it very, very quickly, and the sort of buy and hold. And this is what I do. I work full time. I need to I can't be sitting there going buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. So I will purchase items maybe over a few days, and then I'll sell them all in sort of a big loss, and I'll make a significant amount. Some items you may lose a bit of money on doing it that way, but you will generally become significantly better off through it. But we'll get to those in a little bit. We're first off going to look at the actual setup, so what you're looking for and why you're looking for it. I am on a website called gw2tp.com. There will be a link in the descriptions below, but it's a very easy one to remember. As you can see, I have got all the options down by clicking on the options button there, and I'll go through everything in detail here and why I've filled it in as I have. So obviously I've left the name blank because I don't want to search for a particular item. I've got it in profit descending because obviously I want to see what's going to make me the most money. Then category and subcategory I've left blank because I want to be able to see everything for this particular demo. Sometimes I might go into the category and change between armor, trinkets and weapons. Generally I prefer armor and weapons. The reason that I prefer armor and weapons over the trinkets and certainly any of the other items on there is because they tend to retain their value and the prices are far more stable than with, say, the crafting materials. And also they're things that people are always going to need. Minis, the little pets and stuff, there's no guarantee that somebody's going to actually want to pay 3,500 gold for it, even if that's the price that it's currently listed on the trade post at. It could sit there for 6 months. I don't want that. I want to actually have the gold in my pocket. I don't want to have a really rare mini. I want the gold. That's why we're doing this. So that's why we stick to those particular categories. The subcategory I never bother using because I don't want to limit it any further. I want a wide selection of different things to appear on here. I've now selected the exotics and I've set it to level 80 only by filling both of these in with 80. The reason that I've done this is, once again, it comes down to that idea that people are always going to need it. There is always going to be level 80 players on the game, so we might as well focus on providing to them. They're the ones that are actually going to be able to spend decent money as well on the gear and items. So that's why I've limited to exotic and level 80, because it's something that people are always going to need. Along here now we have the sell and buy, and we can set minimum and maximum prices that we can look for in these 2 categories. So the sell price is how much it is currently listed on, so that's somebody willing to sell it, and the buy price is what it's currently listed on, and that's the price that somebody's willing to buy it. I've put into the buy price here 50 silver. The reason that I've put this in is I want to get rid of straight away any of the items that are currently listed for, say, 1 copper because nobody's actually purchasing. And I also want to make sure that it's at a significant enough price that we can use all the gold that we've got on our character quite quickly and get a decent percentage profit on it. So if I've got, say, 100 gold, I want to make an average of 50% on that 100 gold, so that is 50 gold. Coming over here, we've now got the supply and demand. So the supply is how many people are listing it to sell, and the demand is how many people are actually currently looking to purchase it through an order that they've left on the trading post. Now, I've put 30 and 30. This is because I want to establish that the price is actually accurate, and that we haven't just got, say, one random person by themselves deciding that an item is worth 1 billion gold, because that's not an accurate representation of what other people are going to be feeling the prices are worth on that item. Another thing you could do here is you could actually set the demand higher than the supply, and this would indicate that the price is actually likely to rise if you go back to sort of just standard economics, which is, you know, supply and demand, and if the demand's higher than the supply, the price goes up. Does it work so much in Guild Wars? Couldn't tell you. But it's certainly something that you may want to consider when you're doing this for yourself. We've now come down here to the spread and the actual profit. I've left the spread completely empty because that's the actual cash amount of money that you're going to make from selling an item. But what this could mean is on, say, an item that's worth 100 gold and is selling for 110 gold, you would be making nearly 10 gold profit after you've taken out the sort of sales commissions on it. This, however, it isn't as important as the percentage profit which we've got over here. And the reason for that is, I would rather buy 100 items at 2 gold, or 100 items at 1 gold, that I can then sell for 2 gold, because that would give me 100% profit. And it's all to do with the percentages in this. The higher the percentage, the better. But not too high, which is what I'm going to get to now when we look at what I've got my profit set at. I've got it at 33 as a minimum, because I want to be making gold on the items, and I want there to be enough room in there that if the price slips a little bit downwards, I'm still going to be able to make money afterwards. And that's to do with me being sort of somebody who's going to buy and keep the item for maybe a week before actually selling it. You know, I need that margin for error that is accounted for with this 33% minimum. If we look at scalping later, you'll actually take away the minimum, and you'll probably also, or you'll bring down the maximum to maybe only 10%. The maximum here is set to 100% though, and this is the age-old idea that if it looks too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. We're trying to always limit out sort of problems such as the idea of just one person being able to completely skew the prices on an item. So setting the sell price for 1 billion gold, when in fact nobody's ever going to be willing to part with that much gold for an item. So now that we've got all that set up, you simply come down here and you would hit this button, and this will show you all of the different items that you can purchase currently. As we're going, what I would usually do when I'm doing this is I would come down here, I would copy the name, I would go into Guild Wars, I would paste the name, I would purchase the item. Depending on the amount of gold you've got, you will purchase varying quantities of them. With this particular item, it's actually under 1 gold. Now on my main character, or on my character, I've currently got about 200 gold, so I would be more than happy to buy 5 of these particular items. I wouldn't want to go much over sort of, say 5% on any one item, so that would be, in fact, 10 gold if I've got 200 gold on my character, so I wouldn't be willing to buy more than 10 of these. In general, I'll try to keep the amount that I buy under 5 anyway, to limit the amount of sort of exposure I've got to any one item. And I would continue down here pretty much until I'm out of gold. I'd keep maybe 20 gold on my character, just as sort of a bit of a slush fund, and also to provide the actual gold needed to sell the items again once we've won them, because there's nothing worse than buying a load of items and having no gold to sell them, which is something, or is a situation I did find myself in when I first started doing this. So next I'm going to move over into actual Guild Wars, and we're going to see a bit more of how you go about actually the purchasing and the selling of them. Right, so we are back into Guild Wars. I've got the exact same web page open as I had a few seconds on my second screen, and I am, as I said, going to just start pasting these in. So I've pasted the top item in, and I know there's this one on the top. So we're going to come across here to the current buys. We're going to hit the order button, and we're going to bring this up. And now I like to take this to sort of a I suppose, round number, like a 5, but there's no benefit to that. I just prefer it. And as I say, I'm going to purchase 5 here. I'm going to click OK. Coming back across now to the web page, which you won't be able to see, but I'm going to select the item just below it, copy that, and paste it in here. This Ring of the Traveller. Once again, I'm going to bring this up a bit, and bring the amount that I'm ordering up. I'm not going to buy quite as many of these because this is a trinket, and generally, I don't trade the trinkets. I don't flip the trinkets. I find them far more sort of unpredictable than the weapons and armor, and they don't seem to sell as fast. But hopefully, I'll still get to sell one to show you that it does still work on them. I'm going to hit the order down here again. I'm going to bring this up a bit. I'm going to bring up the amount to about 5 gold. So you can see that I'm well under the sort of 5% that I said I was happy on these items, and eventually it will become harder for you to utilise all the gold that you've got, but it is worthwhile not buying too many of any one item, because you don't want to get, and I've been in this situation where you've got stuck with far too many like boots or guns or whatever it is, and you've just got them sitting there, and eventually you have to take them off the order, so you lose the money that you've had to put down to actually place them on the trading post, and then on top of that you on top of that, you've also made a loss on the actual difference between the buy price and the sell price, because things have changed so dramatically since you last looked at them. As I say, in theory, changing the demand so that it's higher than the supply should prevent that from ever happening to you. Whether or not it works, I don't know, and I'm not willing to limit my options that much as to find out. So I'm just going to go through here. I'm going to put all of these items on. I'm trying to keep talking so that I've got a reason to have this footage going up, so you can see the absolute ins and outs and the innermost mechanics of what's going on and what's sort of going through my head, which is a scary thought. What's going through my head when I'm actually doing this. So I've come across this next item here. And now this one's a very expensive sort of piece, but there is still a good profit in it, so I'm only going to purchase one. I may not get it, and as you've probably just spotted there, I was that busy talking I didn't actually bother bringing the price up at all. It shouldn't make a huge amount of difference. If I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it. If not, c'est la vie. I'm not overly worried. Which also is quite a nice thing about the way that I do it. You don't have to be pinpoint precise to make money. You just have to generally be ballpark with things, and you should still be profitable. So it is. I'm sort of running out of stuff to talk over. I might have to fast forward at this point in the video, or I should say cut. At which point, though, if I do that, I will, before I go any further, go into my transaction history and show you what I've actually placed orders on. So I'll probably be back in a moment. Right, hello. So we are back. As you can see, I've used up quite a significant amount of gold to purchase some items, and some of the items have already started appearing down here. Something I'm going to point out right away is that these settlers' keepsakes, I made a tremendous boob on, and I accidentally bought them for the high price as opposed to the low price. I'm not massively concerned because I will simply list these again at the high price, so in a lot of ways this is sort of a good way to show you sort of what to do if you do make a mistake. Naturally, that was why I did it. I wasn't distracted taking a drink of water. Right, but what I also probably should have done at the beginning was show you exactly how much gold I had, so hopefully here I can use either a clever cut or something to quickly flash back to the amount that we did have before we started this. I'm also going to come into my transactions and take a look at what I'm buying, and here you can see all of the things that I'm now currently purchasing and the quantities, and in total this comes to probably around about 200 gold, just shy of 200 gold. So we're simply going to wait with these, and we're going to wait for a good couple of, well, usually I would leave it maybe 2 days. And if I haven't been able to buy it within a day, 2 days, I would come in and I'll cancel it and I'll get my gold back and I'll go through the whole process again. However, I'm not going to actually leave it that long this time. What I am going to do is I'm going to take all these items, list them to sell them, and I am then going to go and play some GTA, and I'm going to record some GTA footage and tutorials on that. So if you like GTA, make sure to subscribe because there'll be some videos for that. But as I say, I will still be making money in Guild Wars while that happens. So as I say, I'm going to click take all on these, and go to sell items.
Let's make some coin.
I no longer realise how all this works because it's been a while since I've been doing this. So we're going to come into these. These are all the items that I didn't have before. We're going to go for the high price. We are going to get interrupted by a really loud noise from somebody running water in this place. And I'm going to bring the price down slightly from what we've got listed, or what other people are listing the item as, and we're going to list it for that. So on this particular item, I'm looking to make nearly 90% on that, which is a good amount. Here we've got the settlers' keepsakes, so we're going to go to the listing price again. We're going to bring the price down a bit, and we are going to take this right the way up to 5. So we're going to make a slight loss on these, but as I say, I made a mistake. It happens. If you're doing this often enough, it's going to happen to you at some point. Don't panic. We're still going to make money on this whole thing overall. So this is the exact same idea as it was before. We just go for the high price, bring it down a little bit. Sometimes you'll get stuff like this, where the high price isn't actually that high. You've just got one random person dragging the price down. So if we go here to number 2, so the one just up, and we come down a little bit from this, very quickly this price here will clear, and if we wanted to, what we can actually do, and in fact I will do it now, is I'm quickly doing the maths just loosely in my head, and I think that if I was to buy this item and sell it at this price, I would make a profit. So I'm going to go Rampage's Adventurer's Scarf. And I've got to come out to go to buy items. Adventurer's Scarf, so it was this particular item. I'm going to buy that one that they've got listed. I'm going to take these 2 items out of here. I'm going to go into the selling items. And basically what I've done is I've sort of artificially pushed the price up slightly so that I can make even more money and I can sell them. So we've got a bonus scarf, and we've managed to set the price a little bit higher for us, so we can make it that little bit more. That, I believe, is all of the items that we really had to sell. And if I leave it, eventually I should come back and I should find that I have got a significant amount of money and more of these items to then sell again. But I'm going to leave this bit there, but to you, we'll roll straight into several hours in the future. So see you in a bit. Right, so I am back in Guild Wars 2. As you can see, I have sold some of the items, and I also managed to buy some more. Usually I would leave this going, or I would leave the buying happening for about another day, but as I just want to demonstrate this, I'm going to simply take all right now, and I'm going to put all these items up for sale. I'll do that off camera, and I'm also going to come into here and I'm going to cancel all of my buys, so I will get my money back. And then, as I say, tomorrow, or possibly the day after, I'll come back and we'll actually calculate how much gold I have managed to make for what has ultimately been about 15 minutes work. And you can obviously do this every single day, and as a result you would make more money. Plus, as I will go into after I've done that bit on the video, we will talk about flipping, which is the process of doing this a lot quicker, so that you can make even larger amounts of money. Right, so we are back. For me, it has been about a day. I've slept, I've eaten breakfast, I've been to work, I've had tea, I've come home, I've tried to fix my car, I'm having car troubles, and I'm back in the game. And in that time, we have managed to sell most of the other items. We have currently got this amount, and I'm very glad that we have got a profit to show you, because this is the only opportunity I'm going to get to record this section of video. So we can now take all of this, and you can see we're up to 234 gold, 22 silver, 22 copper. That's about, it may be like a few silver over what we had before, and when we first started this video, but if we come into my transactions and we go to what I'm selling, you can see that I've still got 5 of these to sell, 1 of these to sell, and 1 of these to sell. In total, that's approximately 12 gold, and it's probably a lot more than that, given the bits on there. It's probably closer to 15 gold that we've got waiting there. And what this means is, eventually, like, these have only been on for like 20 odd hours, these will eventually sell at this price. And even if they don't, if we were to cancel them all now and sell them at the lower price, which for say this item would be 2 gold odd, in fact this item we may struggle to sell at 5.79 looking at the prices here, but suffice to say, even if we end up taking these off and selling them, we will net ourselves a tiny little profit of, if we do have to do that, we will net a profit of very quick maths in my head, not doing a very good job, of about 5 gold, maybe a bit more. And that's of course if we don't just leave them for long, and maybe over a week they will eventually sell. When it gets to the weekend again, hopefully the prices will go up a bit more, so that's what we can keep our fingers crossed for. The next thing that I said I would talk about was the actual idea of sort of scalping, or very quickly trading things. I'm not going to... Originally I was going to bring up the Guild Wars 2 trade post website to try and show you that, but I think it's easy enough to understand the idea behind it if I just explain it. If you are a bit stuck, then by all means leave a note in the comments, and I'll try and get back to you with more information, and maybe if need be, we can do an actual video just on the idea of sort of flipping very quickly, or as I keep calling it, scalping, because it's very similar to the idea of scalping in sort of a stock exchange, like we have in Wall Street and Britain, as in its financial district in London. It's a very similar idea to that, which is turning things over very quickly and making the difference between them, as you've seen me do with this, but doing it a lot quicker. This is the idea that if I was to sit here all day and be flipping just one item after another, I would make more money than doing what I'm doing currently, where I'm buying a few items and waiting for them to sell at some point in the future. Now, a few things to bear in mind with this is, with the setup that we had on the Guild Wars 2 trade post website, there I would suggest that you have the supply and the demand set significantly higher, because we want to make sure that there's lots of people buying and there's lots of people selling, so we can get in and out very, very quickly. You'll also probably want to bring down the profit, because you're not going to be able to make as big a profit on an individual item, but you will be able to make profits more often. And it's about quantity, this strategy, as opposed to sort of quality items. So that's the basic principles behind it. Some of the things you'll probably start to look at if you're doing that is actually the ores and the crafting materials, as they can have a much quicker sort of turnaround. You can buy them and sell them a lot quicker doing it that way. That sort of concludes that side of things. I also didn't want to try and show you that one because, to be honest, I'm not very good at it. I know some people that do it an awful lot. I don't use that strategy. Personally, when I'm playing Guild Wars, I want to be able to do, as you've seen with this, 15 minutes on the trading post and make maybe 10 gold a day from doing it. You know, I would have made more gold than I have now if I hadn't have cocked up buying those settlers keepsakes. What was it called? I've accidentally bought for the wrong price. These ones, yeah, the settlers keepsakes. If I hadn't have made a mistake buying them at the high price, we would be in big profit at this point. But I made the mistake, and as you can see, we have still made money, so it's no big problem. The other thing you can do with the scalping idea, though, and this is something that if I am going to spend time on the trading post doing, what I'll do is, as I'm going through buying stuff, you probably noticed in an earlier section of this video that a few things are already starting to fulfill. They were starting to come down into the bottom with they've been bought. So I would be taking them, putting them onto the trading post at the high price, and then I would be going back through the oldest orders, which at that point would maybe be 10 minutes old, and I would be deleting them and working my way right the way down, and then I would re-put in the orders, and I would keep looping that cycle, and I would be making more and more money until I've actually managed to utilise more of my money. But those methods are very time intensive, and personally, if I'm playing Guild Wars, I don't want to be spending my time trying to make money on it. I want to be spending my time doing dungeons, wasting my time in Lion's Arch chatting to my mates, and other things such as that. So I hope you like this video. Please do like and subscribe, and if I have missed anything out, let me know. I'm more than happy to revisit this subject. It's something that I do know quite a bit about. So yeah, I'll see you around.